All right. Recording for posterity and for any viewers who may decide to stop by while this is going on. Welcome to the final scenario of my current return to the Dunwich Legacy single-player campaign in Arkham Horror, the Living card game. I am playing as Patrice Hathaway, and just to recap the unusual circumstances under which this campaign has gone, we are speedrunning the Dunwich Legacy, which means that we have first action resigned in every scenario where that is a viable option. That does not mean you lose the campaign outright. So we first action resigned in extracurricular activities. The House Always Wins, the Miskatonic Museum. We played through the Essex County Express, which was quite the endeavor, and we somehow won that. I'm still sort of in shock about that. Then we first action resigned Blood on the Altar and Undimension Unseen. Last recorded session, we played through Where Doom Awaits, and Patrice entered the gate. So, our campaign log looks like this right now. The only individual who we rescued, who wasn't sacrificed to Yog-Sothoth, was Dr. Henry Armitage. So he's still in our deck. We've entered the gate. We earned 2 experience from Return to Where Doom Awaits. We have 1 mental trauma from failing the test on the act flip at the end of Essex County Express. And Doom approaches, because one of the other stipulations for this achievement run is to play as Patrice with Doomed in your deck. So we have done that. At least by speed running, we have reduced the number of times that's shown up. I still have Doomed itself in my deck, but since Doomed approaches, if and when I draw it in this scenario, it will get replaced with the advanced version, not the instant death version, but the mid-grade version, Accursed Fate, going on the bottom of my deck. Which, for Patrice, of course, means it still might be showing up in just a couple turns. So we've got to do what we can to try to avoid that. The other major stipulation that I'm playing under is that I am playing no assets, ever. I have made it through Essex County and Where Doom Awaits without playing a single asset. The only assets in Patrice's deck are Henry Armitage, who is my 3rd copy of Unexpected Courage, and her violin, which is basically an Unexpected Courage light. Instead, we've got a whole bunch of events and skills. What are we spending our 2 points on? Well, after quite some deliberation and a number of test runs, some of which worked and some of which didn't, I've settled on bringing 2 copies of Burn After Reading. This is a new card from the Edge of the Earth Investigator box. 1 experience point to take. You play it for 1 cost. You exile both the card itself and another card from your hand. And in return, you pick up 2 clues from your location. No test, automatic 2 clues. Also, if the other card that you exiled is level 2 or higher, you remove a Doom from the current agenda. I'm happy to go into some powerful exile effects for this final scenario. I don't expect to exile anything level 2 or higher. Indeed, the only level 2 or higher card I think I have in my deck is Parallel Fates level 2, which I'm definitely not planning to exile. And in my test runs, Doom has not really been the issue. The main issue is whether I'm able to complete enough of the scenario to call it a win before Patrice succumbs to damage and or horror. Typically, it's been horror, which does have me wondering if I made the wrong call in Essex to take a mental trauma instead of a physical trauma, but we will see how this goes. And I have removed 1 copy of Improvised Weapon and 1 copy of Impromptu Barrier. I still have 1 of each in the deck, but out of everything in the deck from the 2 scenarios I played, these were the ones seeing the least play. So let's add those together. Shuffle up. We have the huge board for Lost in Time and Space, starting in another dimension. Since we're playing the return version, we've got Realms Beyond, which means Yog-Sothoth is waiting immune, basically behind the starting location. And if at any time an encounter card effect, normally if your location goes away in this scenario, you get moved to another dimension, and you take a horror because of the effect on the agenda. In return, instead of going to another dimension, you instead get sent, where is it? Oh, I think it's on Realms Beyond itself. Yes. When a forced affected move an investigator or enemy to another dimension, move them here instead. And then to get out of Realms Beyond, you have to pass a willpower or agility test. So getting your location discarded or reshuffled into the deck hurts significantly more in terms of danger and tempo loss. So we've got our agenda deck, our encounter deck ready. We've got a Doom track of 4 on the first agenda. Our immediate goal is to get 2 clues. We can spend an action to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location discarded, and resolve its revelation ability, which of course is one of the prime ways that you get locations into play in Lost in Time and Space, and it's likely what we will be doing for many of Patrice's opening turns. So let's shuffle up, see our opening hand. Parallel Fates right off the bat. Well, I'm happy to see that, since one of my first actions will be to play that and try to arrange the first 6 cards of the encounter deck to my liking. I may spend a couple actions to try to put locations in play first and then play this as my third action. We will see. But what else do we have? Well, I certainly don't want... I'm likely not actually going to be taking any tests in my first turn. It's probably going to be put locations in play, play Parallel Fates. So I don't want to lose Last Chance or my Luckies. Test of Will is kind of a filler card. It's less useful than most of the other cards in my deck. But there are other cards that I'd prefer to see early, like the cards I can play from my discard, my 2 copies of Winging It, Improvised Weapon, Impromptu Barrier. Also, Premonition I can productively play in my first turn. Hiding Spot I could plunk down on myself first turn for a bit of protection against the possibility of an enemy showing up. Although with Parallel Fates, hopefully I'll be able to arrange for that to not be the immediate, not happening right off the bat. So do I keep Test of Will just because it's kind of mediocre? Honestly, I think I do. Right, so... Winging It, good. Prophesy, meh. Promise of Power. All right, Promise of Power is powerful, but I certainly have had its curse token burn me at difficult times, so whatever. It's fine. Let's shuffle this back in. And let's get started. And yes, first action, I am indeed going to use the act to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and see what we get in play. Yeah. A Tear Through Space, that's one option. The Unstable Vortex and a Haunting Recollection I can discard. All right, what do we got here? Tear Through Spaces, of course, are the ones that give you the most maneuverability between the different connection location icons. And it's an easy clue to get early at Shroud 1, but it's also very temporary. You got to keep adding Doom or discard it. And also, one of the new locations, in fact, this location, which is a return-only location, makes you discard a copy of Tear Through Space once in play. This is an interesting choice, because Unstable Vortex is also one of the 3 locations in the encounter deck which can lead to the final destination. So even though I won't be able to reach it early, I may want to put it in play specifically so that it's there. And there are a couple of different cards, again, both from the return set of locations, which can lead to the Unstable Vortex. Since I'm not going to be moving and investigating the rest of this turn, I would prefer to play Parallel Fates while I have it. I think I'm going to discard the Tear Through Space, and I'll put the Unstable Vortex into play. No copies of Tear Through Space in play to lose, so there we go. It does not oh, I didn't flip this. It does not connect with where I am. I've developed a system, quote unquote, for placing Lost in Time and Space locations into play. This is where I like to put this particular card. All right, so that's first action. Second action, we're going to do that again. We need locations. We need locations. What do we got? Another Tear Through Space, Wormhole, and a Vassal of the Lurker. Well, we're putting a Tear Through Space into play. Because you only affect the Revelation ability, it does not surge. So I don't have to take another. I don't have to take another encounter card. when I put one into play this way. All right. And with Terrace Through Space, which can connect to a lot of different locations in ways that don't make sense on the map, I like to put this little thing here. It doesn't actually mean it goes in all 4 directions. Instead, excuse me, I'll put another copy of this marker next to anything else that Tear Through Space can reach. But I don't want to move there just yet, because instead, we're going to play Parallel Fates. Also, Unstable Vortex does connect back as a one-way trip through Tear Through Space. So we're going to put one of these same things here, but we're going to make it one way. All right, third action, Parallel Fates. With the top 6 cards of a deck, I'm going to use the encounter deck, and I can reorder them in whatever order I want. Or I can shuffle them, but I think I'm going to be reordering to get the actual benefit of this. What do we got? Collapsing Reality, hate it. Haunting Recollections, not too bad. Baleful Welcome, not bad. Visions of Futures Past, only an issue if I get some of the other things. Interstellar Traveler, no thanks. And Yithian Starseeker. Well, a whole lot of no locations. But I do have some treacheries that are not a big deal. Baleful Welcome is basically a whiff so long as there are no enemies on the board. I can pick Fight and Evade, so long as I didn't draw the Watcher at the start of that turn. Haunting Recollections, generally not a big deal, although horror is the thing that is the biggest issue. I definitely don't want Collapsing Reality. I definitely don't want these enemies. So I'll probably be using the discard 3 next turn to discard past some of these. So maybe next turn will be move, get a clue from Tear Through Space, discard 3 cards, which are cards I know I don't want, and then set up something that's not a big issue next turn, and also something that's not a big issue the following turn. So, let's see. What do I care least about? Haunting Recollections can do horror if I'm unlucky. And horror is what I'm trying to avoid. Visions of Futures Past is only an issue if you actually have Beyond the Veil, which of course is in this deck, and is certainly an issue for Patrice. But I don't have it. So, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'll put Baleful Welcome first. Then I will put Collapsing Reality, Interstellar Traveler, and Yithian Starseeker with the plan to discard past all 3 of them. Then Visions of Futures Past. And then I'll know if for whatever reason, well, after I'm getting the clue in Tear Through Space, I'm going to need to discard again to try to find another location. So Haunting Recollections is going to get discarded as well. But that's fun. Yeah. I think that's the play. So, collections, this, and this. All right. Sounds good. All right, that's the end of my turn. There are no enemies on the board. Upkeep. Discard our whole hand. Draw 5 new cards. Okay. Mythos. 1 of 4. Oh, and I also have to add, because I want to go here. All right, now let's think this through, though. If I move, get the clue, then I'm going to be stuck there and need to and either need to put another Doom and let the agenda advance 2 turns early, or let it discard and dump me out. Because I can't move back. I'm honestly considering letting the Doom advance things, even though it's quote-unquote losing 2 turns. Because it's also accelerating the rate at which locations get into play. The agenda flip will add another location to the board. The other option is to draw for 3 locations, knowing that the first one is going to whiff, and the second one is going to be 2/3 of a whiff. When the agenda advances, the deck reshuffles. So it's only 1 turn of benefit I'm getting from the parallel fates, which is still not bad. Is that worth getting that clue? Or is it more important to try to get some more locations on the board? Alternately, I could let it go. I would get dumped. What's it at the end of the round? So I would take a horror. I get moved here. And then I would need to pass this test and move out to leave. I'll know that my card is Visions of Futures Past. I could move out. I could get potentially something else on the board. But it is a horror that I'm taking. And I do know from experience that taking horror tends to be what eventually kills me. I'm going to risk the Doom advancement. I am going to risk the Doom advancement. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's draw the card. We know what it is. Baleful Welcome. So this turn, we cannot fight or evade. We're not going to do either of those. Investigation phase. Let's first do, so we don't forget, discard 3 cards from... Actually, I don't even need to do that if I'm going to let this advance. I forget to actually put the Doom on it. Because it's going to reshuffle anyway. Is there anything else useful that I could do? I'm having second thoughts. So what would it be? If I move, get the clue, I get warped back. The horror. The horror. The horror. Doom is really not my enemy. Getting locations on the board is what I need to do. I'm going to stick to the plan. So this first action is a move. To other space. Shroud 1 clue. We're going to investigate. Let's see, we're at 2 on 1. Do I use Quantum Flux? I'll have a spare action. I think I may use Quantum Flux with my third action. All right, so I'm testing 2 against 1. I'll commit Ward of Protection, and I'll commit Unrelenting. So 4 against 1, and I'm going to seal 3 tokens. I'm going to seal things that would make us lose. Rather than pull them out, because that gets kind of awkward, I'm just going to name them here. We're 3 up. The skulls are okay, so we're going to seal the -4, the -5, and we're going to seal the tablet, because I don't want Yog-Sothoth attacking me. So -4, -4, or -5. -4, -5, or tablet come up. Then we redraw. Skull. Skull is -1 for each extra dimensional location, so -2, so we pass. Get that clip. And yeah, I'm actually going to play Quantum Flux just to just to extend the life of my deck. Draw something I won't be using. That's unfortunate. Oh, well, actually. No, wait a minute. It's end of the round, isn't it? It's going to be... No. I'm... Well, okay. No. It's going to be end of the round, so it's going to get discarded. And I'll have a new hand. All right. It's fine. Never move that from the game. All right. No enemies on the board. Upkeep. Discard each of these. Q. Uh-oh, doomed. Take a horror. Remove doomed. Slap in Accursed Fate on the bottom of the deck. All right. This is an interesting set of cards. Which, all the more reason to try to get a location to play that I can move to so I can use this. All right. Yep. So I am going to add a Doom here. I know I'm advancing the agenda faster, but hey, it's what we do around these parts. So we're at 4. The Doom agenda advances. This Doom goes away. Shuffle, discard into deck, discard cards on the top until location is discarded, resolve its revelation, and then afterwards I will take a horror regardless of my location. Because I did fail to save the students, because I resigned first action extracurricular activities. All right, what do we get? Nope. Steps of Yahagaral. Not what I wanted to see. It's another way to get to the final location, but it doesn't get me closer to getting some clues. This does connect, though. All right. Draw the topmost madness in your discard pile. Well, I don't have any because Doomed removed itself in the game, and it's not a madness anyway, it's a curse. So, yeah, that whiffs. All right. Counter card. A Baleful Welcome. All right. We're not going to fight or evade this turn. Fine. Instead, we're going to try to get a location into play. Ooh, Indecipherable Stairs, Dimensional Doorway. Okay. All right, good. So Indecipherable Stairs is one of the locations that, number one, I can reach from Terror Through Space, and it connects to this unstable vortex. Now, it is unfortunately only one clue. Dimensional Doorway is the other one that can get to the final location. But I have to draw the topmost hex in the encounter card pile, which would be a second Baleful Welcome. Not really a big deal, but I want to get a clue. And the way to do it is with Indecipherable Stairs. So, I'm gonna plop this in here. Right, I'm gonna put this over here. Okay. Next to this. And I can move between them. Also connects with another dimension. And discard the top 3 cards of your deck. 1, 2, 3. Right. Second action move. 2 Indecipherable Stairs. Now when I leave here, I have to take 2 horror, discard it. Oh, and it connects this. Is it one way? It is one way, yes. All right. And final action, we'll play Burn after reading. And we'll exile a Test of Will. We'll get a clue. Okay. We now have enough to advance the act. Hoofed. All right. Edge of the universe, the moon symbol. So unstable vortex connects there one way. Steps of Yagarl connects there two ways. So put that there. Get this here. And there we go. Now, we need 2 more clues to enter there. We will need 3 clues to advance when we're there. Because of our campaign log, there's going to be a big enemy waiting for us there. So, in an ideal world, I'd have 3 clues before I go there. In a less than ideal world, I'd go in with the 2 clues and plan to pick up my 3rd clue while eating an attack of opportunity, and then advancing. If I manage to advance that act with those 3 clues, then we've done enough for the campaign to consider it a win, even if Patrice bites it in the remainder of the scenario. That is what I am going for. Right now, we have a path there. I could potentially get the clue here, scoot on through. I really don't want to stay here, though. That at the end of your turn, you must draw the top card of the encounter deck. If you pull an enemy from that, it immediately gets an attack on you because of that timing, because it's before the enemy phase. So that's terrible. I don't want to stay there if I can at all help it. And then the steps of Yagarl can get the clue there. I'll need to test willpower to successfully leave. That'll be a clench of a test, but at least Patrice is good at that. And then I'll need to eat an attack while picking up a clue here. Of course, plans may change based on what we get from the mythos, but that is the current plan. Let me just check, make sure we're good. Bear with me a moment. Yeah. All right, good. Well, that was the end of the investigation phase. There are no enemies on the board. Upkeep. Discard these. Upkeep. Okay. Bear with me a moment. Make some window resizing issues. There we go. All right. Prompted barrier. Look what I found. Good for clues. Nice chance. Non-existent. All right. Pretty. Looks pretty solid. Mythos. We're 1 of 4 doom. Encounter card. Infinite doorway. It's an additional cost to move into or out. Discard the top card of your deck. If it's a weakness, draw it. Otherwise, for each copy in your hand or play area, take a horror, discard that card. Yeah. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'll take that. Okay, so I think we continue with the plan of move, hopefully get this clue, and then move. Now, when I leave, I have to either take 2 horror or discard this. I could deny the horror and therefore leave this on the board. And I think I may do that because if I draw something that whisks me away, like a really bad cultist token pull or wormhole or some other nonsense, I want my path back to remain intact. And using deny to cancel 2 horror is perfectly fine. Now, I do need to think about this test. No, I didn't want to use ward. I don't want to guarantee the horror. It's pointless. So if I move, use deny existence, then for this test, I'd be testing 2 against 3. If I commit a ward, that makes it 3 on 3. If I commit last chance, yeah, that's superior. I'd be 4 on 3. Now, do I do 4 on 3 and plan to play look what I found if I fail by 2 or less? Or do I just straight up, well, no, if I commit look what I found, then I can't commit last chance. And then I'd be testing, if I committed look what I found in ward of protection, I'd be testing 5 against 3. If I commit last chance, then I'd be testing 4 on 3, and I can get the clue even if I get a -3 or worse. So that is the better play. I think. So first action, we're going to move. We're going to play Deny Existence to cancel the 2 horror. I can do that, right? It says must, but I'm canceling it. It's not a cost I need to pay. It would cause me to take 2 horror, and then I ignore that aspect of the effect. That's got to be how Deny Existence works. I'm overthinking it. That's fine. 1. Now the investigate. So we are committing last chance, so we're testing 5 minus 3, that's 2 question marks. 4 on 3. Minus 3. So we failed by 2. So we play Look What I Found. And we got the clue. And then last action, we move to the steps of Yagarl. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, I didn't do this. I need to do this before I, well, let's see what the card was. At the time, I had Look What I Found, Last Chance, and Ward of Protection in my hand. So the card would have been... Whoa, okay, hold on. Oh, that draws me the Watcher. Okay, hold on. I don't think it changes what I did. It's kind of annoying, but it does. I don't think it changes what I did. Because it was still important to accomplish what I just accomplished. So, all right, we get the Watcher. It's fine. We still use Denying... Whoa, what's happening? Discard pile, it's floating away. We still use Deny Existence to block the horror. We used Last Chance, and Look What I Found to get the clue. Last action, move. All right, that's fine. Enemy, the Watcher watches. Upkeep. Discard these. Keep 4 cards. Rise the occasion unrelenting defense. That finds able-bodied. Okay. So Rise to the Occasion and Able-Bodied together mean I could test to get rid of the Watcher at 8. Maybe that's what we do this turn? Let's see. Nope. Doom track 2 of 4. Counter card. Towering Luminosity. Either place a Doom on it or take 2 damage. So Towering Luminosity is another return location. It's the reverse of the Indecipherable Stairs. It also connects to the Unstable Vortex. It's got a buttload of clues. But I think I'm far enough ahead. I think the plan is going to be eat an attack of opportunity and try to get a clue here when I enter. A Doom or 2 damage. Honestly, again, I know it's advancing the agenda, but the agenda is not the threat here. The threat is damage or horror. So I'm going to add a Doom. Look, it's speedrunning Dunwich, right? What's more speedrun than taking every Doom? Makes sense to me, I think. All right. Well, that's good, because we're not getting pummeled by some other encounter. Now, do we deal with the Watcher, or do we try to win? It's not the best hand for winning, because I don't have clue tech. This is not helpful, because this is Shroud 3, and to get a clue here is Shroud 2. This is obviously not helpful. Do I have a Winging It in my discard? I do not. I have Impromptu Barrier, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is get rid of the Watcher, and then get rid of the Watcher. All right, so what will that entail? He's Agility 5. So I can play Impromptu Barrier from my discard. Which reduces his evade by 1. So I'd be testing Raw 2 against 4. I can still use Rise to the Occasion, because the base is 2 above my base. So that's 5 against 4. And I can use Able Bodied, because I got no assets, for another 3. That's 8 against 4. That covers everything but the -5, and obviously Tentacles. What could wreck my day in terms of tokens? What are the skulls at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The skulls are also -5. So it probably is worth it to also throw, well, either one, a single icon puts me at 9 against 4. And then I'm covered against the skulls. Defiance will cancel 1. Unrelenting can seal up. Now, this is interesting, though. And I never thought I'd consider using Unrelenting for this in my current deck. But since with Unrelenting, I'd be passing 9 against 4. I pass on everything but Tentacles. I could seal the +1 and the 2 zeros and draw 2 cards, which would give me something to maybe at least get this clue. I don't think I would move this turn, because I don't want to move in and let the enemy attack me. Especially the enemy waiting there. That would be very bad for reasons. We'll see. Return to Dunwich reasons. But it would be helpful to be able to get this clue while I'm here. Because there's a +1, 2 zeros. +1, 0, 0. Leave the Elder sign in there. The only thing to find... do I care? I mean, the skull is not an issue. The Cultist is only an issue if I draw Cultist Tentacles, which, I mean, look, whatever. The tablet means Yog-Sothoth would attack me, which would be a damage and up to 5 horror and or cards discarded from my deck. Probably I'll just discard the cards in my deck. So yeah, I think that's the play. I'm going to commit Unrelenting, which puts us at a total of 9 against its 4. I'm going to seal the +1 and 2 zeros. Again, it's sort of awkward to actually do that here. So if one of those comes up, we'll just draw a different token. But I draw 2 cards. Look what I found. And Hiding Spot. There isn't a window between committing cards to a test and actually pulling tokens for the test, is there? I don't think there is, but let's check the rules. Where the heck is... Here we go. No, this is not what I want. I want... I get to the skill test timing. Heck, bear with me just a moment. I'm going to look it up online. Skill test timing chart. There is. There is a player window between committing cards and revealing the token. Okay. Well then. Do I want to play Hiding Spot in case I pull Tentacles? Because if I do, then it won't engage me right away. Which would allow me to, for example, get the clue and maybe move. But I probably don't want to move. I probably, because then it would hunt in on me into the next location. I might be pummeled by both it and the thing waiting for me. What would be more useful is just staying put And then when hiding spot goes away, then it engages me, which means I avoid its attack. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play hiding spot. If you've never given this card a chance, I recommend looking at it for anyone who can take it in solo play. It can really save your bacon sometimes. In return to where Doom awaits, I plunked this down on the turn that I had it, and the crazed Shoggoth showed up on my head. And because of this, I was able to just walk away. Hopefully, we don't pull tentacles. Hopefully, it's not going to matter. All right, enough stalling. 9 on 4. This is my first action. -4. We committed so much, we still passed the test. Success. Bye. Okay. Well. Oh, and this shuffles into my deck. Now, let's investigate. Shroud 3. So, I'll commit Defiance. Do I just commit Look What I Found? Probably. Because with Look What I Found, I'll be testing 5 against 3. Defiance, I'm testing 3 on 3, and I only get the clue if I'm 2 below. Should I draw a card first? Actually, hold on. I could draw a card first, see if I get something useful. Because, yeah, I still don't have Winging It. That's what I really want. I have a spare action. I'm not going to move in this turn. Or do I get a resource? I'm going to draw a card. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. It was unexpected. What's wrong with me? All right, let's investigate. We're at 4, 5 against 2. If I do 7 against 2, then I'm, again, covering everything but tentacles. I mean, if I draw tentacles, I'm not getting the clue either. So I'm just going to commit everything. 7 against 2. Wait, no, it's 7 against 3, isn't it? Sorry, hold on. Shroud 3. The test to leave here is 2. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. Okay, so that means I'm going to name the skull. If I don't commit, look what I found. 5 against 3. Still not answer. No, I might as well just commit it. Why spend resources when I don't have to? But I'm going to name the skull because it's -5 and it would make me fail. Come on. -3. We pass. Come on. Okay. We got the clue. We have enough to enter. We need something to get the clues there when we enter and eat the attack of opportunity. But when we do, we should be in good shape. All right. No enemies on the board. Upkeep. Hey. Whoa. Let's not do that. Winging it. I only need 1 clue, so I'm happy to play it from my hand. Rise to the occasion is not helping me, unfortunately. Quantum Flux, improvised weapon. This is not the best hand for this. It's actually a pretty poor hand for this. Especially when I have to take the willpower test to enter. I may need to wait here around. Alright, well, getting ahead of ourselves. Mythos. 3 on 4. Eldritch Accord. Okay. Can draw a card. Can discard up to 2. All right. This works. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to draw a card. That's useful because that's 2 question marks at the moment. I'm going to discard 2 cards, which are, of course, going to be Winging It and Improvised Weapon. And now I test willpower 4 on 4. And if I fail, I take 2 horror. Again, gotta be careful about the horror. But let's think this through. With Prophesy, I'd be testing 4 against 2 to leave. If I commit Quantum Flux, that's 5 against 2 to leave. But then I got nothing for the Investigate test other than winging it, which is 2 on 1. Again, not that great. Do I commit cards to this and wait another round when I have a better hand? Because I still have Hiding Spot protecting me if an enemy drops on my head the following turn. If I take 2 horror, then I'm 3 away from defeat. There are things that can certainly, like Vast Expanse right now would be a real problem. Yeah, I'm not comfortable that I have what I need this turn. I think the better play is to commit to this test, try to pass it, wait a turn, and try to get a better hand of cards for what I hope to be the final turn. I think that's the play. Do I play Quantum Flux again? I don't think so, because that would shuffle the Watcher back in. I'm still 4 turns away from hitting Accursed Fate. Oh, shoot, wait a minute. No, I'm not, because I played Impromptu Barrier. It's somewhere in there. I forgot about that. Maybe I do play Quantum Flux. Because that's more of a problem. That's 2 horror. 2 horror? Yeah, I think that's 2 horror. At least by using Quantum Flux, I'm not actually winging it from my discard because I have one in my hand that'll get discarded at the end of the round. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the play. Do I even draw any cards? Should I put Hiding Spot in the final location? I don't think it would have worked. I think that guy's elite. All right. I'm going to take the test. Well, obviously, I'm taking the test. But I'm going to commit Prophesy. So 6 against 4. I'm not going to use Quantum Flux. Although, well, yeah, so because I've gone through both. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it does make sense to reshuffle because that's going to put both of my Look What I Founds back into rotation. That, well, Burn After Reading would be the best card to get the clues guaranteed. But Look What I Found is also essentially guaranteed. Yeah, so I think that's the play. I am guaranteed to get Burn After Reading in 4 turns if I don't reshuffle. It's a difficult one. Nah, I'm gonna do it. But first, this test. So I'm testing 6 on 4. Passed exactly. All right. Quantum Flux. Because I don't have what I need to leave that. Wish I could walk back to here. But unfortunately, it's one way. Yeah, let's play Quantum Flux. One. Shuffles in. Draw a card. Non-existence. And then we move this way. Oh, that was my first action. No, I'm not moving just based on this. I think we're going to take 2 resources. We're waiting for a better chance at this. All right, no enemies on the board. Upkeep. These go in. Cards come out. Promise of Power. That's good to see. Defiance. Violin. That's only 1 question mark. I got to hit me. I have brute force. I don't plan to fight the guy, though. All right. Possible. Mythos. The agenda advances. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just realized. Ah, shoot. I forgot about this doom. I should have advanced the agenda 1 round sooner. All right. I mean, that would have reshuffled the encounter deck, which would have significantly changed the last turns. So what I'm going to say instead is that instead of putting the doom, I instead took the 2 damage. I still think that it was better to not take the damage. It was better to take the doom, but I didn't do this right. I forgot about this. So I think it's more equitable to go back and essentially do what I actually did, which was not add a doom and forget to put the damage on. All right. Shuffle into the encounter deck, discard until we get a location, reveal it. Wait, no, that's not it. This is it. Then I'll need to test willpower 4, because 4 people are sacrificed. And for each point I fail by, take a damage. That's not great. All right, let's see what we get. Prismatic Cascade. It's over here. Discard a random card from my hand. And then this connects to... Yeah, this actually connects to the Yagarl. Both ways. So that gives me another option. I could backtrack to the Prismatic Cascade, pick up a clue here, and then return to the steps. And then I just need to pass the willpower test to enter. I don't need to worry about accomplishing an investigate immediately after moving in and taking an attack of opportunity. But first we gotta discard a random card from our hand. And it is Violin. That's fine. Thematic for this no assets nonsense that we're doing. All right. And now, Mythos. It's an interstellar traveler, turning clues to doom. So any extra dimensional location means I don't have to plop it on myself. I can put it on any one of these, just not the starting locations and not the edge of the universe. Now, oh wow, I forgot about this. Man, there's a lot to keep track of. Well, I haven't used it since I left it, so it was discarded a long time ago, essentially is what happened. I left it, I never went back. So that means it is part of the encounter deck, because it was shuffled back in, so we'll just shuffle that in now. Are there any other end of round effects that I'm forgetting? If you fail a test after you leave, but I canceled that. You end your turn here. Those clues are moved. All right. Where can I put him that'll take him the longest to get to where he's relevant? The stairs. He's gonna add Doom. But hopefully I can end this. The goal is to end in 2 turns, or at least get a win state in 2 turns. So, probably the stairs. And he gets a 2. All right. Promise of power, defiance, and a hit me. Brute force is not helpful this turn. Do I move, get a clue, and move back? Is that the play? That's probably the play. Because then next turn I just need to pass. Oh, wait, I got to do the willpower 4 test. I almost forgot about that. All right, promise of power it? Probably. 8 against 4. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to promise a power this. And a curse. 8 against 4. But we passed anyway. All right. Fine. I'll take it. That's hilarious. Because I do have winging it in here. Yeah, that's the play. All right. Let's move. Prismatic Cascade. Shroud 2. Okay. I'm going to play Winging It from the discard. So I'm testing 2 against 1. I'm going to commit Defiance. I will name the skull. So I'm 3 against 1 with a hit me in my pocket. -2. Passed exactly. Shuffle Winging It back into my deck. Get 2 clues. Not enough to make this place disappear. Just enough to give me what I need. Well, actually more than enough. Last action, move back to where I need to be. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta do this test when I leave. Oh, hold on. God damn it. Four against 2. I gotta rewind. Would I commit Defiance to this? Not with Hit Me. Probably not. What would happen if I failed the test? No, I think I would. Save the Hit Me for the Investigate. That's unfortunate. We're gonna rewind. We're gonna do this properly. First action move, but I have to take that test. So I'm testing 4 against 2. Commit Defiance. Name the skull. 5 on 2. Passed exactly thanks to Defiance. So I successfully move. Okay. Now. Do I draw a card first, or do I just go for it with the Winging It, which is still in the discard? I haven't still shuffled into my deck. I haven't played it yet this time, but it's it's read as in my discard. So I will still be playing and testing 2-on-1. The only question is, do I draw a card first, or do I just rely on Hit Me? I think I would prefer to draw a card first. No. I think I would prefer to just try it. Let's just try it. The winging it's in there. Paid the resource. Did I? Whatever, I don't think it's going to matter. Pay the resource. I might have paid that twice. I don't think it's going to matter. 2-on-1. Well, let's try Hit Me. So I actually pass. Yog-Sothoth hits me, but I pass. Because that tablet is a +3 with, effects. Okay. So -4, +3, total -1. I was 2-on-1. I pass. I got the 2 clues. Okay. I'll take it. Put this back. There we go. Now, Yog-Sothoth attacks me. So he does 1 damage and up to 5 horror, but I can discard cards instead. So I'm going to be discarding cards because I got a nice fill deck. So I take 1 damage and discard 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fine. Last action, move back to where I need to be. This test is when you leave, not when you enter. All right. Hopefully, as long as I'm comfortable passing that willpower test next round, hopefully we'll be okay. Enemy phase. Interstellar Traveler moves here, gets another doom. Okay. Upkeep. There's burn after reading. A little bit too late, but that's okay. Ooh, unrelenting and lucky. Okay, good. Mythos. We're at 1 plus 2 doom is 3. Out of 6. Counter card. I tear through space, which surges. All right. Back here. Plump these down again. No, I don't. Not. No. Let's try that again. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Boom. And this was still there. Okay. Surge. Next card. An enemy. Well, gee, this would be a problem, except I've got hiding spot here. So he's aloof. Take that. Now I can't rest my laurels too yet. I'm one bad tentacle pull away from it all crashing down on me. But we're gonna take the test. We're gonna move into the edge of the universe. We gotta pass this willpower 2 test. So, what have we got? We got a lucky in our back pocket. The skulls are -5. We're gonna commit burn after reading. So we're at 5 on 2. We're gonna commit unrelenting. So we're 6 on 2. And we're gonna seal up the cultist, the tablet, and the -5. I actually shouldn't need lucky. Yeah, cultist, tablet, -5. So if I pull any of those, I pull a different card instead. Here we go. Cultist. So I sealed that up, so we get something else instead. -2. We pass. We successfully move it. Which does all kinds of nonsense. I needed 2 clues to get here. Now I'm in there. 2 shroud, 2 clues. The act advances. Spawn the set-aside Seth Bishop, Thrall of Yog-Sothoth, because the ritual was completed, because I doomed out of Blood in the Altar. who's a big nasty, but we're not going to deal with him at all. Because I got 4 clues, which is enough to advance the act. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. We advance. Remove the edge of the universe in the game, put the tear through time location into play. So, when we remove this, both Patrice and Seth get yoinked to where Yog-Sothoth is. Tear through time goes here. It's got the same connections, except it also connects back to the start in a one-way fashion. I'll put that here as an indicator. Right. And yoink to Realms Beyond. We take a horror from the forced move. Seth, after Yog-Sothoth enters Seth's location or vice versa, Seth is devoured whole. Remove him from the game, heals 6 damage from Yog-Sothoth. So if you go in with the clues needed to advance, Seth is not an issue at all because you immediately warp to Yog-Sothoth and he gets eaten. And we have now accomplished enough for this to be a win. Now, I'm going to keep going just to see if we can get out alive. I don't expect we will, because with that Interstellar Traveler, we are going to doom out. Well, not doom out, but we're going to doom to Yog-Sothoth starting to chase us. But we do still have a path. So, you know what? We're going to see. We're going to see. Now, I have 2 actions remaining, because all I did was move in and then advance the act. So I can try to leave. Now, I am engaged with Yog-Sothoth. No, he cannot make attacks of opportunity. So I could, for example, do I want to draw a card? Because to exit here, I would need to pass this Agility 3 test. Or, because I have lucky, do I just try it twice? I think I might just try it twice. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm trying to leave, testing 4 against 3. Cultist. Well, this could help. Because if we fail, then another location gets put into play and we move there. But no, we still would need to... We still would need to pass the test again. We need to pass the test a second time to get moved out. Well, let's see what we get. Cultist and... Oof. -5. No amount of lucky is helping us there. So, okay. So another location gets put into play, and we will get moved there for another horror if we pass the test on the second go-round. Nonsense. All right, Vassal, Beyond the Veil, the Endless Bridge. This one goes here. Sadly, the Endless Bridge is not where I want to go. Yeah, that is not where I want to go. Lose 2 resources. Okay. Because this is the one place that does not have a path to where I need to be. It does connect to tear through space, which might be what I would need if I get warped there. But I gotta take the test to see if the forced move yoinks me out. So 4 and 3. I pass. Not sure I wanted to. I take a horror from getting yoinked again, and now I'm dumped unceremoniously at the Endless Bridge. Now, the issue is that if I move to the tear through space, this guy's going to move in and wallop me, because this location connects to the tear through space. He's going to move there anyway, because that is the closest path to get to me. Don't want to be here. I don't have a choice. Again, like I said, this is gravy right now. This is This is the wrong place. Oh, no, it's not. It just got removed from the game. There is another location, that dimensional doorway that I discarded a while back, that could connect here. But I am, you know, I'm close to the end. Sorry, bear with me a moment. Bear with me a moment. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I don't want to move. So maybe I try to get a clue with lucky and winging it. You do need to spend 2 clues at the final location to be able to resign. So, I mean, it's a thing I'd need to do at some point. Let's try it. We'll play winging it from our hand. So we're testing 2 against 3, and I've got a lucky. Probably not gonna nail it, but again, this is all gravy. No. All right, it's fine. Arkham, you can do your thing now. It's perfectly fine. This guy moves, and Hoover's. Oh, wait a minute, man! I keep forgetting. Wait, I just drew that, right? I drew that this turn, so I can discard this and shunt him back to here. I would then lock myself into here, though. But that still might be, well, no, it's gonna. I just drew this, though. So he picks up this clue. Turns into a doom. Yeah. Did I advance this last round? I don't remember. No, I think I did. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're in a winning state, regardless of what the board thinks. And then this guy moves. Let's see, what's the shortest path to where we are? 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. I could have him move into the prismatic cascade, and then he'll be like in a dead end once the tear through space goes away. But do I want it to go away? That's the real question. Oops, I'm not sure I do. Oh, but if I do, then this will advance a turn early. No, probably better to fish for the location that I need. So let's move him here. So he can go 1 through this to 2, and then through this to 3 to get to me. Yeah, that's fine. All right. There we go. These discard. Upkeep. Bunch of nonsense. Mythos. Discard the tear through space. Yeah. These go away. This guy gets shunted here. Actually, if I do that, it's... Man, it advances either way, right? Because he'll get another doom for moving into that location. I didn't even think of that. I still think it's the right play. All right, so all this doom means that Yogg-Sothoth is on his merry way. Here we go! Because we're at 2 and it had 4 Doom, so this advances. Move Yogg-Sothoth to the edge of the universe. Or another dimension if the edge of the universe is not in play. Well, it's not in play. We had to time instead. So Yogg-Sothoth moves here. Remove Realms Beyond from the game. Ignore the text on Realms Beyond when resolving this ability. So that means this goes away. And so this guy, yeah, gets moved here. Well, that's no good. It's all right. In 2 turns, Yogg-Sothoth's gonna wail on me some more. All right, what's our Mythos card? Can we do this? Probably not. Visions of Futures Past. I don't think I care. Yeah, we're just gonna tank this. 4 on 5. We failed by 1. Okay. Yeah, these are about to beat the snot out of me. That will actually defeat me, right? 1 damage, 2 horror, 1 damage, and whatever. I have like 1 more chance. Unless I manage to pull the 1 location I need to get the heck out of Dodge. So, we're going to try to pull some locations to get the heck out of Dodge. Nope. Nope. And nope. Well, that was 1 action. We're going to try again. And it's the 1 we needed. I'm going to still discard the other 2 cards. But this is the 1 that connects with where I am. Oh my god. Draw the topmost hex in the encounter discard pile. So what do we get? It's Haunting Recollections. So I'm probably going to be denying existence to this, but let's see if there is any. Do I have Promise of Power in here? Yes, I do. So that's 1. Do I have Hit Me? That's 2. Do I have Defiant? That's 3. Right, so this would be 3 horror. We're going to deny the existence of that. Huh. We're going to move! Run, Patrice! All right. Now I have to spend 2 resources. That's fine. I still need another clue. Oh my god. Enemy phase. Yogg-Sothoth and this guy. So they move. Yeah, it's here and then here, right? When I leave, I can discard this. Or I can keep it around and put a Doom there. This is going to advance regardless, because this guy is going to keep adding a Doom. But if I remove this, then they need to take a more roundabout way to get to me. And this does not connect to any of these. This guy need. Oh, this should have been. No, actually, there was never an enemy here at the end of the event phase. Well, it's about to change. It's going to be there in a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna let this go away. Right. Okay. So now these guys are like, what? How did we get there? They got to go through here, which means they got to go off to the side. I can even split them up. I think I am going to split them up. I'll put this guy here. Put Yogg-Sothoth here. He gets another Doom. Then this guy moves here. Now Hiding Spot gets discarded. Oh my god. What nonsense is this? Upkeep. Discard all of these. Oh boy, cursed fate. We're riding the edge. To horror, we're one away from defeat. The hour is nigh. It really is. The hour is nigh. All right. Yes. So this advances. So he attacks, and then this flips back. So this doom goes away. I take damage, and I need to discard 5 cards. Deck's not empty, so I don't die straight up from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 cards left. Mythos card. A baleful welcome. How about a baleful farewell? This round, I cannot fight or evade. I just need a clue. I just need to get a clue, then I can move, then I can resign, and we actually win. Okay. Do I have winging it in here? I absolutely do. Let's spend a resource to play winging it from the discard. We're testing 2 against 1. Gonna commit last chance because that's what it is. So I'm at 4 against 1 with a lucky in hand. Here we go. And we finish strong with the Elder Sign. That feels good. Get that clue? I can shuffle everything but 1 card into my discard. Deep Cursed Fate. That was my first action. Second action, we move to the Tear Through Time. Spend 2 clues to resign. You find a new path and hope that it leads back to safety. And that is what we do. Reality beckons. You discover a path that looks somewhat familiar and follow it, even though your task is complete. You now understand that in closing the tear, you may never make it home. The fear of being lost here forever spurs you onward through an archway leading into an overgrown corridor. A damp wooden door leads you out into a pocket of thin rain and dark sky. Cement turns to gravel, then marble, then steel and grass. You cross impossibly long meadows, make your way through dense woods before fatigue finally sets in. Drained of all energy, you cannot go in any further. Your body gives out. Resolution 1. We close the tear in reality. 2 physical and 2 mental trauma. 5 experience, and Patrice wins the campaign. We didn't even get the Pyrrhic victory. Which I know was a separate achievement, but I wasn't going for that if I could possibly win the whole scenario, and somehow we did. Wow. There we go. Success. Just going to make it official, because I like to do that. Patrice closed the tear in reality. 2 and 2. 5 experience. Her hour is 9, so she's not living long past this, but she's certainly accomplished what she set out to do. And that is how you speedrun Dunwich with doomed Patrice without ever playing an asset. Well, this was quite the ride. Thank you to anyone who was here to watch. Thank you to anyone who may watch the highlights once they are published. And until next time, take care, everybody.